Warning! The following video may contain flashing images. Viewer discretion is advised. Ahoy hoy there folks, and welcome back to Put It to TSET, where today we are taking a look at the Bluebird Micro Superstars Wallace and Gromit micro playsets. Now, I've fallen down a bit of a Bluebird clamshell rabbit hole. This is the company that... God, the dust in this room is ridiculous. The Bluebird were the company that designed and made Polly Pocket and later Mighty Max, as well as I have discovered a great many number of micro playsets, ranging from Disney to the Muppets to, of course, our great claymation friends Wallace and Gromit. If you're not familiar, Wallace and Gromit are a claymation team from many a film created by the Aardmans animation studios. They are British through and through. They're fantastic. Go and watch them. If you've never seen them, I wholeheartedly recommend. They're fun for the whole family, not a problem, and yeah, it's cracking viewing. So let's jump in and have a look at these playsets. We'll start with the old Wallace one, who's just taken a nosedive. Oh, he's a bit washed out with all these lights, but if I don't have these lights, you can't really see what I'm doing, so it's a bit of an arse. But yeah, that's a pretty good representation of our friend Wallace. He's got a bit grubby over the years. I mean, these are quite old, from 1998, I believe. Wallace and Gromit first debuted in 1989, so it's been a bit of a while. But let's open up his head and see what he's got inside, scoop out his brains. So, this set depicts a grand day out. Let's just readjust and refocus. Right, there we go, that looks a little bit better. Right, so this this portrays a grand day out. As you can see, there is a great big nodule here for Wallace's nose that fits the spaceship in. That's probably the only real design flaw, because it's a big empty space, but then it contains the rocket. I don't know if that's genius or stupidity. It's one or the other. Anyway, let's focus on the top. So we've got ourselves... We'll have a look at the Wallace figurine in a moment. But right now, we've got West Wallaby Street portrayed at the top here. And if you flip down of this section here, you discover... If I tilt this down a bit, you can see Wallace's bedroom, where he will have a lie down and a cup of tea in bed and all sorts of MacGuffins, and you can see all the little details that made Bluebird famous with them clamshell micro playsets. The little alarm clock, the lamp, the curtains in the window. Oh, magnificent. But anyway, yes, the idea of this little feature here is you pop yourself a little Wallace in bed. There we go, all tucked up neat and tidy. And if you had a little Gromit, he would then help Wallace get up when the alarm went off, and it would tip him up. Whoop! And in this case, it kind of plonks him into the breakfast table back to front. But we'll get to that in a second. First off, yes, I like to look at the detailing, because there's even a little sticker of the little spring that launches the bed up. That is just so cool. This is, and the wood texturing on the plastic, it's like... The attention to detail is ridiculous in these playsets. I mean, I love Bluebird so much, and you can probably see why. So, looking here, we've got ourselves the little armchair that Wallace sits in, with his little tea and crackers. If he ever runs out of crackers, there is a little cupboard with some crackers in his ear. How cool is that? That's pretty clear and neat. I don't know if you can... Yeah, get in close. I want to see those Jacob's cream cracker packs. You can tell they're Jacob's cream crackers without knowing and having them labelled as Jacob's cream crackers. That's the beauty of branding. And this set, I mean, look at this layout. It's brilliant. You've got Gromit's chair there with a little hole for his little tail, which we'll come to later. You've got stacks of books over here. You've got more cupboard space at the back. The lamp, the teapot, the toast. Oh, the cheese Gromit! The cheese Gromit! Seriously, I adore this playset. The detailing is amazing. So, anyway, for those of you who don't know, a grand day out is basically portraying Wallace and Gromit having breakfast and running out of cheese. So where better to get more cheese? The moon, of course! So that's why we have a rocket ship. a rocket ship designed and created by Wallace and Gromit, because let's be fair, Wallace, as much of a engineering marvel he is, Gromit is the true brains behind this operation. And yeah, so let's have a look inside as a spaceship. I'm going to open this up and try and hide the surprise, and just show you the inners of the spaceship. So, you've got yourself their little control panel, actually moulded on, got little stickers, got the little flower basket on the top, the little hatches. You know, they've got moulded detail and they've got sticker detail, and it's cute, it's quaint, it looks like it's from the film, it's really nice. Inside, we have ourselves a Gromit, who we will have a look at later, and yeah, we'll have a look at the mystery figurine in a moment. Next, we have the moon. So they've landed on the moon. Quite clever, actually, because there's really only one really specific way this rocket can land here and fit in. It's designed to fit. Where is it? Where is it? Yeah, it's like literally that's the only gap between the two tail fins that fits in there properly. Everything else doesn't quite fit in, so it's impeccably designed to fit just right. So yeah, you've got a little sticker to show the bit where they couldn't really sort of. Oh, actually, was there meant to be a blanket there? Oh, is there meant to be a blanket that come with this playset and I've misplaced it? I think a blanket might meant to go there and sort of cover up this. I shall have to do some research and maybe put it on the screen now. But otherwise, you know, the surface of the moon is really detailed. It looks like the claymation film. You've got yourself your little spaces for your old Wallace to stand in, as per usual in most of these playsets. So you can have yourself little dioramas, which is neat. You've also got yourself the picnic basket they bring, with all those lovely packs of crackers. Marvellous. So, you may be wondering, what the flicking heck is this little white nodule sticking out? Good question. I'm glad I asked it. It is for this little character here, this little novelty fella. Right, can we focus? Excellent, good stuff. Yes, anyway, as I was saying, it's for this little fella. The little fridge cooker robot thing that lives on the moon, that basically gives them a parking ticket for parking the spaceship on the moon. He's quite cute, but by the end of it, he's got some skis on the bottom of him. And so, without going into too many spoilers, basically, yeah, he sort of skis along the moon's surface, and then these little mice pop up and say, hello! Oh, hello, little mices! As he skis around the moon. So that's quite cute. That is the major play feature of this one, which is quite novel. And I like it. As we'll stick with the characters for the moment. Quite detailed. Like the minimalist paintwork. It's quite a basic character, even in claymation, but it's been captured rather well, in my opinion. Let's move on to old Wallace here. So let's zoom in on him just a touch. Yeah, there's no... Oh, there is articulation in the arms. That's good. I didn't think there was for a moment. No head articulation, but arm articulation. The head looks pretty accurate, spot on. I mean, very close to his giant counterpart at the back there. He's got his slippers. He's got his jumper. He's got his tie. It's, you know, it's a good little miniature figurine. Larger than most normal ones you'd expect. Polly Pocket stands about yay tall. I should have brought some to compare. I didn't. I'm a absolute Wally. Anyway, so his sidekick in crime. One Gromit dog. Nicely moulded. The paintwork on his ears is a bit squiff, but it's not the worst thing in the world. He's clearly Gromit. His little tail sticking out. And he's quite an interesting little pose, waving and sitting there quite happily. So, yeah, I do like this. The Grand Day Out was the first film to be made for Wallace and Gromit, and this is a fantastic little tribute to it, I would say. It's fantastically designed, brilliantly moulded, decent paintwork. I really enjoy this. I really quite like it. So it's moving on to the second one in the set, and that is the Gromit head, which I will give bonus points to for having ears that can definitely give him that full sort of, oh my god, what is happening expression that he typically has in these films. Let's open him up. So this one is depicting a close shave. Everything's sort of fallen out there, so we'll manoeuvre that around. Let's first take a look at the top here. We've got ourselves West Wallaby Street with an option for putting Gromit in either of these sections. There's a little hole for the tail, as you can see in there, sitting quite happily. Looks a bit uncomfortable, but it's not too bad. Obviously, using the decoration that was available from this film rather than the one from A Grand Day Out. If I position this right, he will sit up there. They do fit, I promise. Yeah, there you go. Oh, yes, Gromit. And this one is a window cleaner, so hence the change of outfit, and we'll explain some bits as we go on as well. So yeah, interesting little details again. Nothing really sort of jumps out here as being incredible. It's just, you know, a platform with some seats to show him at home. But then, of course, underneath in the basement, you have yourself the latest invention. We'll move this out of the way. This will come important later. But yes, in this particular invention, essentially, you put the sheep into the wash here. This machine sucks it up, shears the sheep, takes the wool and turns it into a woolly jumper over somewhere over there, and spits out a sheep that's, you know, fine inside of a kennel. Quite nice. So there's a nice little cage here, sort of just pops out. It's, you know, it's relatively neat. So, of course, to use a machine such as that, you're going to need a sheep. And of course, we have ourselves a Shaun. Yes, we've got ourselves a Shaun the sheep. He can sort of fit in there, and he can spin round to his heart's content, getting washed up, and it's sucked up in there, and then spat out. Even though he's not been shorn in this one, he's still got his woolly jumper on. You can still pop him in the little cage there and look at his woolly bum. There we go. Very neat. Again, attention to detail. You've got the brickworks, the piping, the rivets in the piping. It's just wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. The thing is, though, it's a difficult one to sort of capture a specific moment, because it's, you know, whilst the Grand Day Out was, for all intents and purposes, rather grand, A Close Shave was a much more epic encounter. I think it was like twice the runtime. So they've had to make some decisions about what was the best thing to portray. So in terms of action, you've got yourself a little front garden with the little pond in the middle here. You can see the pond and the old the flower garden as well. It's not quite what I would say is accurate, but it's there. And you've got the, you know, the nice, the cobbling, the stonework. You've got a bit of a grass verge at the front here. So what's all this about? Well, allow me to explain. So, Wallace and Gromit have themselves a little motorcycle and a sidecar. So go and do the window washing. So what they do is they pop themselves on the driveway, and they've created a little mechanical device that includes a little gnome with a little stop sign and a little green thing, and he pops around here, and that pops this down with the fence and the grass, and then he swings round. Let's help if I turn it around this way, you can see what I'm doing. Swings round, and put this back a little bit. Boom! There's a little boot on the shed that kicks the bike off and makes it scoot off into the sunset. No, the wheels do not move. No, there is nothing there. There's literally no movement. It just skids across on the plastic. But it does have a nice action feature, and it does launch quite nicely. It's quite a nifty little spring it's got in there, which is rather nice indeed. So, interesting little action feature, rather quite cute. As you may have seen on the drive, there seems to be space for something to park there. That is because one of the main things in this is that there is a sheep rustling going on. And so there is a little van, driven by the antagonist, no spoilers here, that will have the sheep in. Now, you look at it and you sort of think, oh, hang on, that's a bit small for a sheep that size, don't you think? Well, you see, they kind of think of these things at Bluebird, and they're really not, they're not stupid. They've been at this for a while. So, yeah, you can fit a Shaun the Sheep inside of the truck, which is neat. I love it. It's so cute. Again, the wheels don't move. It's just two lumps of plastic. Paintwork's nice, though. I do love the shiny paint they've been using. It works wonders. The fact that the black on this is a bit too glossy takes away from it a little bit, but it's a teeny tiny micro playset. It's cute. I love it. It's brilliant. And it sits just nicely there. It just nestles in nicely. It's the brilliance of this, where you can pack everything in, and it just nestles in beautifully. Anyway, so the last action feature, which we will demonstrate, hopefully, without making too much of a farce of it, like I did when I first attempted to record this, we'll pop our Wallace on the cycle here, missing his crash helmet, naughty naughty, and we'll pop our Gromit in here, which is a bit of a tight fit, but he will eventually go in. Beautiful. So, during the course of the film, you discover that Gromit's been working on this sidecar for a little bit, because it kind of detaches from the scooter and becomes a freaking aeroplane. Now, it's missing the porridge cannon from the film. Believe me, if you haven't watched Wallace and Gromit, go and watch the films. They're brilliant. But all intents and purposes, that is a perfect little representation of the plane and the wings that pop in and out. Let's move that out of the background just for a minute so you can see and admire the beauty of this little teeny tiny little airship. Now, remember I said a little something about this. Well, I'm not quite sure exactly how it goes on, but it does, in some form or another, go in. I might even have to go on a Gromit. It's been a while since I've had to do anything like this, but yeah, basically, you attach it onto there, and then you've got two little holes in either side underneath the chairs, and you have yourself a Gromit in an aeroplane flying through your diorama. How cool is that? That's brilliant. It's genius. I love it so much. It's absolutely wunderbar. Wunderbar, 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 wunderbar. So yes, let's have another quick look at the actual miniatures themselves. Just to have a quick peek. There's not going to be much different. I mean, they're just basically lump of plastic. Again, the paintwork around the ear seems to have gone a bit squiffy, but overall, that's quite a good Gromit. Once you know he's meant to be using the pudding cannon inside the airplane, that pose actually looks quite fine. Not as I still don't like him as much as the one in Close Shave, but it's still quite neat. You've got your Wallace. It's exactly the same mould. If I can get him off the bloody motorcycle. Actually, is it the same? No, it's not the same mould. The legs are slightly different mould, obviously to incorporate his overalls. But you know, it's a different mould entirely. It is same hands, same face, but overall different moulds. Paintwork's fine. It's a cracking Wallace, again with the same points of articulation so he can sit down, move his arms about. And lastly, where's that ruddy little sheep? Come here, Sean. No, don't run away, Sean. Behave yourself, boy. Yes, so not going to come up too well because he's so glossy and lovely under these lights. He's going to shine everything. But yes, you can see the nostrils, eyes. There's a bit of black paint gone onto the white wall there, but overall, that's a pretty good Sean. I really quite like it. Yeah, so basically, enough of me faffing and prattling on about nonsense and nothingness. These are some really, really good examples of Bluebird micro playsets. I've always been a fan. You know, Polly Pockets, Mighty Max, they're all just the business, in my opinion. They're just fantastic. You get in there, Gromit. Ugh. So, to have Wallace and Gromit's playsets, it was a dream come true for me. And I still love them to this day. I don't know much more else I can say. I mean, look at it, even on the inside of the van, where you've got the base for Sean. It's got texturing. It's got wooden texturing on the back of the van. Bluebird were the absolute dons of micro playsets, and I hate that they aren't more of a thing these days. Mattel bought them out, I think, and they need to bring back micro playsets. They really do, in my opinion. But that's me being selfish, adult child person thing. Those of you who are eagle-eyed may be realising we're missing one of the major films, The Wrong Trousers. Unfortunately, they didn't produce a Wrong Trousers micro playset. They perfectly could have done. I mean, quite easily, the penguin disguised as a chicken, I forget his name, which is really Feathers McGraw, I think it is, would have been an iconic third playset, but they never produced it. I'm not sure whether that was a legal thing, or whether it's just a case of everyone else sort of got two playsets in the line. Although Marvel and DC got dozens upon dozens, and Disney got loads, and I don't know the ins and outs of that, and it's one of those things I might have to have a deep dive into another time. But as it stands, for two micro playsets representing both Wallace and Gromit, two iconic British films with two iconic British characters, What more can I say other than these are wonderful and kind of rare as it goes? Because on my deep dive, I kind of worked out that this Gromit playset, even used, will go anywhere between 48 and 80 quid. Brand new in the packet, they're worth over 100. I think I might be missing a part, so it might not be worth the full price on the Wallace one, but these are little treasures, and I'm so glad I've kept them, and I know I'm not selling them. They're mine. They're my little bit of British culture that I can be proud of without feeling like a massive Nazi. Ta-ra for now!